adventures.
Hey guys, Chuke here with Chuke's Outdoor Adventures. Well, I have been doing this series for 2 years now, and every week I seem to get a new article about a bear attack. They are on the rise, or maybe they're just being reported more. But obviously in the lower 48, the Yellowstone area, Wyoming, Montana, a lot of bear attacks there. That population is growing. I think Alaska has always had bear attacks, but they seem to be on the rise recently. Maybe they're just reported more. But this one is out of Colorado, thanks to several of the viewers who have logged onto my website and sent me these articles. Now, I used to live in Durango, Colorado, and in school I was working at this restaurant, and I'd go back to, throw trash in the dumpster, and there'd be these massive black bears that were color phased. So they, in a way, they kind of looked like brown bears because they were really big and they were cinnamon or brown colored. But they got so used to humans that I used to smack cardboard together, try to make a gunshot like sound, and it initially scared them off. They got used to it and they just started ignoring me. So that's what happens when bears become habituated to humans. I probably said that word wrong, sorry. But this article is called Bear Attacks Man During Nighttime Dog Walk in Colorado. So this is by Spencer McKee, and it says wildlife officials in Colorado are reminding those in the Boulder area. So Boulder, up north, towards Denver. That's not in the Durango area where I were. Are to take extra precautions involving potential animal attractants such as trash after a bear attack took place on Saturday night. According to a report from Colorado Park and Wildlife, a man was walking his 2 dogs on leash along Boulder's High Street about 11 p.m. on September 6th when the trio encountered a sow with a cub nearby. Okay, sow and cubs, they'll get aggressive. The sow charged the man and his dogs, and the man tried to run. He then tripped over his dog's leashes, and the sow ultimately scratched him across the back. Ouch. Details about the severity of the scratch were not released, though the man described his injuries to wildlife officials as superficial. Okay, that's good. Following the attack, wildlife officials reminded the public that bears are starting to enter their hyperphagia phase ahead of winter torpor. During this time, bears are quite active and are on a serious hunt for food, so they want to collect food before they hibernate, consuming up to 20,000 calories per day. When bears are in urban areas during this time, they'll often seek out non-natural food sources such as trash and birdseed if those are made available. All Coloradoans should take a moment to ensure that potential bear attractants are secure. Now, I like this. If a bear is spotted, give it space and never approach it. While black bears often seem to be scared of humans, they can become aggressive when feeling threatened or hungry. A mother bear with cubs can be particularly defensive. Now, that is great because the majority of these media publications usually say bear attacks are rare, especially black bear attacks, very rare. They are never aggressive to humans, which is not true. If a bear is hungry, he will try to eat you. I've had that happen to myself up here while out in the middle of nowhere hunting. And bears down the lower 48 are no different. I think people are just loud and they will scare them away. But I think these attacks happen more than often not. So, and thankfully this article didn't say, never carry a firearm, only carry bear spray. That's another theme that we've seen in a lot of these articles, some worse than others. And I am not anti-bear spray, as I always say. I have several bottles. Chuck from Alaska Ballistics carries both. That's what you should do. He's always got bear spray on his belt, and then he's got like 5 firearms on him. Currently, I go back and forth between my big bore revolvers and my 460 Roland, but this is kind of my favorite one because it's fairly lightweight compared to my big revolvers. This is a Dan Wesson Razorback 1911, chambered in 10 millimeter. This is just in case leather hip holster. Use my code CHUKES to get one at 15% off, just in case they're really high quality holsters. But this doesn't have as much capacity as the Glock 20 or the Springfield XDM or an X10 or a Smith & Wesson M&P 10, but I shoot it better. I'm more accurate with it, so I've kind of transitioned to a 1911 just for 10 millimeter, and it's been great. That thing, I shoot it so much more accurately. So this second article, meanwhile, in Canada, this article is called Survivors of Bear Attack in Sault Ste. Marie Show Their Story. And two women all torn up in the hospital bed there. So that's not good. At least they're smiling. They survived. So women share details of terrifying bear attack. Two women attacked by a bear in the Sault Ste. Marie bear attack. So surge in bear sightings prompts warning in northern Ontario Township. Two women who survived a near-death experience this week when they were attacked by a black bear in Sault Ste. Marie say the bear was just protecting her cubs. Another sow protecting the cubs. You got to watch out for the sows. It happened that we walked into her space and she reacted with her motherly instinct to protect her cubs, said Crystal McDonald. The incident took place when McDonald and her friend Asia Wilson were walking their dogs, Mia and Rosebud, on Wednesday afternoon. Good looking dogs. It looks like we got a German Shepherd and a Staffordshire or a Pit Bull there. Very nice. They were walking along a popular trail near the end of Peoples Road. Just a few minutes into the rainy hike, they came face to face with a mother bear and her cubs. I see the dogs running at me, and then behind them is a big black bear barreling at me. Another case where the dogs brought the bears back to the people. So that's been a problem, and you know, Cowboy State Daily just did an article not too long ago on that. You got to watch it with the dogs in bear country, because more likely than not, the dogs just rile up the bears and bring them straight at you. So I turned to run, but realized very quickly that's not the correct thing to do. So the bear bit me on the backside. Oh boy. And then I dropped to the ground and rolled into a fetal position, and the bear was on top of me. I turned to run, but realized very quickly that's not the correct thing to do. Okay, Asia Wilson, the bear attack survivor. When I saw the bear run, pass, and aim for Asia, like I thought for sure this was it, like my friend was going to be shredded, she said. And then she turned her attention to me and started like galloping towards me with her mouth open. That's terrifying. Like I can vividly see, McDonald continued. And then she stood up on her back legs and went to pounce on me. As she did that, I turned around. There was a bit of downslope, and I fell downward. I hit my head and landed on my wrist. And then the bear got a hold of my arm, and she was there with my arm in her mouth, and she was breathing. I could see the dogs jumping on her. Good for the dogs. The dogs were protecting them. Wilson said McDonald's reaction likely saved her life. I'm just so grateful my friend also, who was so brave, she said, because that bear really didn't have to get off me, and I could have been a lot worse than it was. Grateful for my friend. So McDonald's dog, Mia, a 4-year-old German Shepherd Husky mix, okay, good mix, eventually led the bear away. The brave pup found her way home a few hours later with minor injuries. McDonald herself suffered 2 broken bones in her arm and some bruising elsewhere. Wilson had multiple bite wounds and lacerations from the bear's claws. Her dog, Rosebud, a 1.5-year-old Pit Bull Lab mix, okay, that's a good mix, came away without physical injuries. Leave it to the Pit Bull to make it without injuries. The pair agreed that the bear was not at fault. She was just defending her cubs. That's fair. They're happy to be told the Ministry of Natural Resources isn't pursuing lethal force should they locate the bear. And that's fair. Bear expert Mike McIntosh, who runs the Bear With Us Center for Bears, said that black bear attacks are very rare. So I was wondering if it was a grizzly or a black bear. And I disagree with him. Black bear attacks are not very rare, but when the cubs and unleashed dogs are involved, the odds of an attack increases considerably. They're rare considered to most encounters, but they're not rare. I mean, I'm reporting on a handful of black bear attacks every summer, more than that. Bear expert Mike McIntosh, over 50% of those attacks involved off-leash dogs. There you go. So don't keep your dog on a leash, even on those trails, unless it's like a Karelian bear dog or something that's trained for it. But a dog leash is an excellent deterrent. a dog on a leash. The bear will smell the dogs, hear the commotion, smell the people as well, and leave the area most often, if you're lucky. McIntosh said, observing your environment for black bear scat or nearby berry bushes is also important to lessen your likelihood of a run-in with the bear. McDonald and Wilson said they'll be taking a hiatus from their wood hikes, but hopefully their bear encounter leads others to learn more about bear safety. Well, it's from Canada, so obviously they're not going to suggest firearms. Never in a million years would they do that in Canada. It was more of a socialist type state, I think. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. Thank you for sending in the articles. Remember to stay bear aware, just like they said. Some of those points were good. Carry bear spray and firearm. If you have to pick one, carry a firearm, and just be careful. Keep your dogs on a leash if they're not trained really well. And just remember, a lot of times the bears will smell you. If they're pissed off, they'll circle around and run at you from the side 35 miles an hour. Sometimes there's nothing you can do. You're lucky if you get one shot off. So hopefully there will be no deaths this fall. We're entering the elk season, lower 48. It's moose season still up here. I'm going to be out moose hunting and bear hunting with Chuck from Alaska Ballistics every weekend, so I'm super excited. And I'm going to have my 10 millimeter or my 454 Casull or a 460 Roland on me as long as a hunting rifle. So, and Chuck will have like 7 guns on him, so he's paranoid. But thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll see you tomorrow morning with another video.
My name is Chuke. I like to trade my guns just for fun, but now I have none. Oh, don't get shot by a bear, but I don't care. I got a 10 millimeter. Chuke's Outdoor Adventures. Watch you all die every time.